Honestly, I might just say fuck it. He's my QB1. Fuck it. I'm hammering the table. Baker Mayfield should be the first pick.
Yeah. Why?
Why not?
Because he's got the it factor.
You don't think he's too Johnny Manziel-ish?
Nah, I think he's the perfect Johnny Manziel and Drew Brees.
So are you guys doing who you guys would pick? Or
The Johnny Manziel comparison pisses me off.
I mean, yeah, I think Sam Darnold's a bum. I can't mock him, number one. Baker Mayfield, you have it. Keith.
So, before it starts, now...
Welcome, everybody. This is our 2018 NFL mock draft presented to you by FATstats. We are FATstaters. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Medium, _team_stats. All right. So we have just about 24 hours until the 2018 NFL draft. And here with us today, Alec, member of FATstats, our senior draft analyst.
Yo.
What's going on?
How's it
and
going?
we have a special guest today, Kyle Spehar.
What's going on, guys?
Where can we find you on social media?
Mostly on Twitter. Twitter handle is K_Spee.
All right.
And I'll have my mock draft out of there tomorrow if you want to see that.
Awesome. All right, and I'm Michael, like always, and our other guy, Bob, is doing the technical stuff in the background today. And Keith's here too. Anyway, so let's... All right, let's get right into this. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go back and forth. Alec is going to start with what you're doing the odd picks.
Yep, so I got all the odds.
And then Kyle has the even. So we're just going to go back and forth. They're going to give their picks. And we'll just jump right into it. All right, Alec, start off with number one. The Browns are on the clock.
So with the first pick of the 2018 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns will take Sam Darnold, QB, USC. First of all, I think it's the wrong pick. I actually scouted all 5 top quarterbacks in the class, and Sam Darnold actually had the worst FAT grade. He had an 80. He didn't look that impressive to me. Not too impressed with him. If I was the Browns, I would go with Baker Mayfield. That's my QB1. I think he would turn the team around. I think the Browns are going to screw up the pick again with Darnold.
I don't think that Darnold's a bad pick. He's not my quarterback one either, but he's got... Dan Orlovsky said something. He said it was a sloppy miracle or sloppy magic that Darnold has. It's just... when the play breaks down, he just knows how to make a play. It's almost Romo-esque.
Yeah, but then you see all the turnovers and his red zone play. I mean, what I saw was pretty ugly. I mean, I didn't watch every single game. I only watched 6 games from him, but that Washington State game was real bad.
He's definitely got a turnover problem, but he is the youngest quarterback to ever be drafted.
He does got.
You got to think about the potential there.
I mean, he has all the tools. He just needs to be more consistent.
Definitely.
Like, he showed flashes when I was scouting him. I don't think he's the worst quarterback ever, but I wouldn't take him if I was the GM.
And that's one of the reasons why they possibly could make him the first pick. You know, the talent's there. I mean, you know, the potential.
I think it was the first pick all along. I think Allen and Mayfield are just smokescreens.
Yeah.
All right, so what about pick number 2, Giants?
All right. Second pick. I'm a Giants fan, by the way. I'm going to take my bias out of this. The Giants are going to take Saquon Barkley, running back, Penn State. And here's why I think it's a bad pick. Starting with taking a running back top 5. Financially, doesn't make sense. You give them what essentially turns into a top 5 running back contract in the NFL without them ever stepping foot on the field. When you factor in their 5th-year option, his contract's going to be somewhere around 5 years, $45 million. And right now, the highest paid running back in the NFL is Devontae Freeman, who signed a 5-year, $43 million contract. So you're basically giving him the highest paid running back contract in the NFL right now. And it just doesn't make sense when you're trying to build a roster. Personally, I want to draft Josh Rosen. I think it makes all the sense in the world to get a quarterback. Your quarterback's going to be 37 this year. He's obviously declining. And the blueprint for success in the NFL nowadays is trying to win when your quarterback's on a rookie contract. It's what the Eagles did last year. That's why they were able to load up on defense. It's what the Chiefs and the Rams are trying to do now. It's what the Seahawks were able to do when Russell Wilson was there. It's just, that's the way to do it. You can load up on free agents. And to be honest, Josh Rosen's the best quarterback and the best player in this draft. I think he's the best quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck.
Yeah, I agree with that philosophy too. I mean, you got to take a quarterback and start winning with him at a young age, and then running backs you can find. And I mean, Saquon Barkley is a very talented running back, but you can definitely find one in the later rounds that can still help your team. And you're like you said, Eli's 37. There's so many quarterbacks in this draft. You got to take one.
And all right, so say a lot of Giants fans are scared of missing on a quarterback, but even if you miss, in 3 years, you're going to be the same spot as if you didn't take one, because you're going to have to find a quarterback of the future 3 years down the road.
Either way, right?
And I totally agree. My team did the same thing last year, Jacksonville Jaguars. We took Leonard Fournette with the 4th pick. Looking back at it now, he's a great running back, but as Kyle was speaking about, the cap hits. So I went and looked at Leonard Fournette last year. He got a $27 million contract, 4 years, with a cap hit of $6.7 million. That makes him the 5th highest paid running back as his 2nd year. So, I mean, it's not smart to take a running back in the top 10. I definitely would go quarterback, and I would go with Rosen. For the Giants, I think he's a perfect fit for that offense.
All right, so you both agree that they should take a quarterback and probably Josh Rosen?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they will take Darnold, though, if he's there,
there.
over Barkley. I just don't think he'll be there.
Okay. All right, let's go to pick number 3 with the Jets.
All right, with the 3rd pick, I got the New York Jets taking quarterback Baker Mayfield, Oklahoma. They traded up from 6 with the Colts for one reason and one reason only, to get a quarterback. And I have them getting the best quarterback on my big board in Baker Mayfield. I think he's perfect for that organization, for the city of New York. He's got that, fiery attitude. I think he has an it factor. I think he can make them compete in that division. And maybe when it's time for the Patriots to, be dethroned, maybe Baker Mayfield can turn it around in New York.
Baker Mayfield is definitely going to be fun to have in New York. It's going to be controversial whether he's... The New York media is either going to tear them apart or they're going to love him.
Yeah.
But he's definitely the best pick that's available. I'm a big Baker Mayfield fan. And the Jets traded up for a reason. They knew they were going to get one of these 3 quarterbacks, and they did.
I believe Mayfield's going to get chosen pretty high as well. I can see that for sure.
5's his floor.
Yeah.
Broadway Baker.
All right, so let's go to the Browns' other pick, pick number 4.
All right, I got the Browns going with Bradley Chubb, defensive end out of NC State. I think this would be the pick even if Barkley was there. What's better than to put an elite pass rusher next to another elite pass rusher, both on rookie deals, because they're both going to get paid. I don't think Chubb's on the same level as Myles Garrett or another one. It's just not the same kind of athlete, but he's insanely productive, and he's used to playing strong side. He played a lot of left end at NC State, so I think he can handle the run a bit better than Myles Garrett.
I mean, I think that pass rush duo honestly could potentially be better than Jacksonville's pass rush with Calais and Yannick. Not being biased, but I mean, Chubb and Garrett, that's a deadly duo right there.
I mean, that is for sure. Do you think that they could take another quarterback at 4?
Hot
So
take of the day.
They could take 2 quarterbacks?
If I was the Cleveland Browns, I would take 2 quarterbacks in the top 4. Flip one for the farm.
Hold one for ransom.
Exactly.
See, if
They
one of
should
them
take-
pans out, hold one for ransom.
They should take Josh Rosen and Darnold, or any of the 2, honestly.
I don't think he's
Josh
do it.
Allen.
I think they
Someone
are
like the
gonna
Bills
consider-
or the
They'd have
Cardinals.
to.
Someone would.
The Bills would have
3
to make
first-round
a move.
picks.
Yeah. I think they're definitely a candidate to trade back. But I don't think, when you look at what they did in the offseason, bringing in Carlos Hyde on a 3-year deal, they still have Duke Johnson, who they love. I don't think it was ever the plan to take Saquon.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Look, I actually love what the Browns are doing. I love the talent that they're acquiring, and then the amount of picks they have. I feel like 4, if they take a quarterback for ransom, that's cool. But I feel like they should definitely trade. If I were them, I would trade back and get a lot. Just keep getting picks. Like
I mean, you got to hit eventually, right?
Yeah,
with all those picks.
I mean, look, you at number 1, you take the quarterback. You have the option of all the quarterbacks. You take the guy you want and just keep moving forward.
Yeah.
They're pulling a Boston Celtics. They just keep acquiring all these assets and they never use them.
That's what I would do. All right, so let's go to pick number 5, Denver Broncos.
So Denver Broncos could possibly trade out here. So that's why I'm mocking Josh Rosen, quarterback UCLA, at this spot. For a couple reasons. One, I honestly don't buy that Case Keenum is going to be the long-term answer. I think he's a bridge quarterback, so QB's definitely in the options for them.
Check the FAT.
Josh Rosen is my number 1 QB. FAT grade-wise, he does have a 96. He does fall number 2 on my QB big board, though, but he has everything you want in a franchise quarterback. He has a beautiful deep ball. He throws with anticipation. He's patient in the pocket. But if it's not the Broncos, look out for maybe Miami Dolphins or Arizona Cardinals to trade up for Josh Rosen.
Or Buffalo.
Buffalo.
You know Buffalo is going to be moving up there. I don't think that the Broncos would draft Rosen. From what I've read, the only quarterbacks that they'll draft is Darnold and Baker Mayfield. They're not interested.
Smoke.
Could be. You got to sift through all that.
There's a lot of smoke nowadays.
Oh, of course.
You don't think John Elway sees a little bit of himself in Rosen?
No, I think he might see a little bit of himself. He definitely does in Baker.
Oh, for sure.
And I think he could in Josh Allen, but apparently not. You know,
we'll see.
I think they're the ideal candidate to trade back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Someone's coming up to take a quarterback at 5.
Exactly.
Book it.
Either 5 or 4. I mean, that's definitely prime.
Or 6.
Yeah.
Indianapolis
Let's
wants
talk
to move
about-
back.
yeah,
I mean,
6, so-
honestly, you'll see 4 quarterbacks go in the top 5.
You think?
Okay. I think at least 3.
We'll see.
Yeah, right now we have 3 of them in the top 5 right now. I could see 4. It's possible. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of trading going on tomorrow. But let's go with the Colts at 6.
All right. 6th pick, the Colts are going to take Roquan Smith, linebacker, Georgia.
Ooh.
I also considered Denzel Ward here. Their corners are really suspect, but Roquan Smith, in my opinion, is the best defensive player in the draft. He's the prototypical linebacker that you want nowadays. They're trying to get a leader on the defense. He's a perfect leader. Bradley Chubb, I would have considered too if he was there. They need pass rush help severely, but I think Roquan is the perfect leader to be a staple in that new defense.
Yeah, they need some defensive help for sure.
I mean, honestly, they need help across the board. O-line's terrible. D-line's terrible. Andrew Luck, question mark. Can he throw the football?
Now,
name me T.Y. Hilton and who else? Name me someone.
Yeah,
that's
they
good
need help
on.
all over.
Yeah. So
what if they
they
pick the
should
quarterback?
trade back.
What if they pick the quarterback?
I mean,
I don't see it.
You don't see it?
I don't see it.
What if like the one guy who just fell to them that they really liked as a quarterback?
If they did, I would think it would be like you mentioned, like a ransom situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're gonna take
I mean,
him.
who knows what's up with Luck though? He's still not going to be
Still
throwing
not-
at
still not
OTAs. Does he
throwing.
have 2 arms?
We don't know.
We don't.
We don't know.
This is where you really get into the Quentin Nelson territory too.
Yeah. I mean, that's a smart
Definitely
pick.
considered him, but they need defensive help in the worst
Yeah.
way. Andrew Luck can make up for a bad offensive line because he has his entire career.
Yeah, they've never had an offensive line. They really have not had anyone that special. Okay, so let's move on to pick number 7 with the Tampa Bay Bucks.
All right. With the 7th pick, I got the Tampa Bay Bucks taking cornerback Denzel Ward, Ohio State. Actually switched this up a little bit last minute. I was going to have them, Derwin James definitely is worth the pick here, but how well of a fit is he in that defense? Mike Smith likes to play at 2 high safeties. James is more of a box safety, so you're kind of wasting his talent. So as much as I think he should go to them, I feel like they'll play it safe and they'll just go cornerback. They definitely need help. Vernon Hargreaves hasn't lived up to the hype of being an 11th pick a couple years ago.
Yeah, Vernon Hargreaves I think they've realized that he's going to be best in the slot, which is also somewhere where you could use Derwin James. I think I would lean towards Derwin James over Denzel Ward, but I agree that corner is a bigger need with them. They got Grimes, who's 35, 36 now. And
Still makes plays though, crazy.
I know. And they drafted Justin Evans, safety, in the second round last year.
Yeah.
More of a free safety, so him and Derwin would be great complements to each other. But like you said, they run a lot of too high.
Exactly, and they got to be worried about stopping, Matt Ryan, Cam Newton, and Drew Brees 6 times out of the year.
And I think Denzel Ward is almost as good as Marcus Lattimore. I think he's the second best Ohio State corner to come out, with their group that's been coming out the last 4 years. Above my boy Eli Apple and Gary Ann Conley and all those guys. Denzel Ward's legit.
Yeah.
All right, pick number 8, Chicago Bears.
Easiest pick in the draft. The Chicago Bears are going to take Quentin Nelson, offensive lineman out of Notre Dame. The reason why I say this is the easiest pick, not only is it great value because he's probably the best player in the draft, their offensive line coach was Notre Dame's offensive line coach. So I think that's just a match made in heaven. If Quentin Nelson's there, they're going to run that pick up to the...
he's a tough son of a bitch. If you watch this man's highlights, he's a wrecking ball out there.
He's one of the few fun offensive linemen to watch.
Yeah,
he's killing people out there.
If he fell out of the top 10 for whatever reason, I would want the Jags to trade up and give up whatever to get this guy.
Absolutely.
This guy's with Fournette and Norrell. That O-line.
I can't remember a better offensive lineman coming out in the draft.
This guy's a mean, nasty, everything.
I don't like to say sure thing because I was around in the Robert Gallery days when everyone was like, "Oh, that's the surest pick in years," blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. But Quentin Nelson is a sure thing.
Well, good thing for them. There's going to be a lot of quarterbacks taking in the first few picks, so talent like that could definitely fall to them.
Absolutely.
And if they can get him there at 8, that'd be awesome. All right, pick number 9, the 49ers.
All right, San Francisco 49ers. They definitely can go multiple directions with this pick. I think they're going to stay on the defensive side of the ball here. It's whether they want to go, where do they see a bigger need, linebacker or defensive back. But I think with Derwin James still on the board, I think it's a no-brainer. You plug him in, he can play anywhere on that defense. And, he can turn that defense around. They definitely have the offense. I think that'd be a great pick. If I was going to go linebacker, I would go with Edmonds. But who knows with Reuben Foster.
Yeah, I think they definitely need another safety. They do have Jaquiski Tart, who's solid, but they lost Eric Reed, who's free agent.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see safety being a need for them. Derwin James, he was supposed to be the best player in the draft. After his freshman year at FSU, everyone was talking about him being the next great thing.
John Lynch is calling the show, so...
Oh, that's a good point.
Exactly.
I didn't think about that.
You might want a safety.
Didn't even think about that.
He knows how valuable they are, so definitely worth the pick.
I love you, Jimmy.
This guy's a huge Jimmy fan. All right, pick number 10, the Oakland Raiders.
All right, here comes the first shocker of the draft. The 10th pick.
Let's do it.
Oakland Raiders are going to take Colton Miller, offensive lineman out of UCLA. Definitely a reach. They do need an offensive tackle. They have Donald Penn, who's 35, coming off a Lisfranc injury, which is tough to come back from, especially that age. The right tackle is Brent Giacomini, who's a turnstile. I was going to do Mike McGlinchey here, but then I remembered that Tom Cable is their offensive line coach, and he loves athletes on the offensive line, even if they can't play. Colton Miller tested out in the 99th percentile among offensive linemen at the Combine. So, shocker, it's definitely a reach. I would not take him there. He's got a serious footwork problem where he takes a false step at the start and he gives pass rushers basically a head start on him every single time. But that is correctable as long as he's willing to learn.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter the other day. I think your boy, Schwartz.
Yeah, Jeff Schwartz.
Yeah, was talking about it, how he does have a really bad first step, and he was saying it could potentially not be fixable, and that's going to kill you.
It's good he's an athlete so he can recover, but if he fixes that, then you could really see what he potentially can do.
The Raiders are just a wild card, too. They could trade, they could they can go multiple directions. Defense, they definitely need help on secondary, linebacker.
I don't think they're going to go defense. This is John Gruden's first draft. He's an offensive guy at heart. I think they're going to lean offense.
Yeah, I mean, you never know who can fall to them, too. Maybe even trade back. All right, Miami Dolphins.
All right.
Pick 11.
Pick 11. I got Miami Dolphins going with defensive tackle Vita Vea out of Washington. I could see them trading up for a quarterback for sure. Maybe Josh Rosen starts to slip. They pull the trigger. They trade up. Even Baker Mayfield. But if they stay here, they're either going linebacker or defensive tackle. I think Vita Vea is too good of a prospect to pass up. They just lost Sue. I mean, I think it's a no-brainer.
Vita Vea, different type of defensive tackle than Sue. He's more of a nose tackle.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think he'd fit really well on the team. I think they're going to – if a quarterback's there, if Rosen starts to slip, I could see them maybe moving up a few spots to get him, just because they know Buffalo is going to be trying to move up as well if Buffalo hasn't already.
Yeah.
And supposedly Gase loves Josh Rosen.
Really?
I can't blame him, but supposedly loves him. I think Derwin James is also a lot of potential in this spot.
I can see Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Or one of the linebackers.
Yeah,
Roquan or Tremaine Edmonds.
Now, you guys still got Josh Allen left. Do you think that they take a quarterback, the Dolphins?
I don't think Josh Allen is who they're looking for. That's a whole other topic. Josh Allen, on me, I think he's either going to be the biggest bust since Ryan Leaf, or he's going to be a very good quarterback, and he's going to win some. He's going to win some games in the NFL.
So it seems to be a common theme that you guys think he's dropping. He's dropping.
I don't think he will on draft day. He just dropped in this scenario.
In this scenario, okay.
Some teams love him, including the team who picks next.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, speaking of the team that picks next, who could even trade up to get a quarterback, pick 12 with the Bills.
Yep. So 12th pick, Buffalo Bills are going to take Josh Allen.
There we go.
Quarterback out of Wyoming. Ultimately, I think they end up trading up into the top 5 to take him. They have tons of draft capital to get up there. And if it's going up to 5, they don't even need to trade anything in 2019, which I think is what they're going to try to do ideally. I have my reservations about Josh Allen. When you watch him, some of the throws wow you. And you're like, yeah, I could see why teams love him, but man, he's got some serious issues. He's awful against pressure. He leaves the pocket for no reason a ton, and he likes to try to make too much out of something that has no shot at working. I mean, it worked in the D1 AA level, I think they are.
And not even. I mean, he didn't even dominate his own competition.
Not at all. I saw somewhere that him and Josh Rosen played the same competition for 3 games this year, and Rosen was 7 touchdowns to 2 picks in those 3 games. Josh Allen was 1 touchdown, 1 pick.
No,
3
8
games.
picks.
8 picks?
Yeah.
Whew.
And I actually scouted 2 of the same games. I watched Josh Rosen and Josh Allen both play Hawaii, and the second one was at Washington. Did they both play Washington?
I don't remember.
Off the top of my head, I don't remember, but it was night and day difference watching both of these 2 quarterbacks play against the same competition. I mean, I do think the Bills will end up with Josh Allen, whether that's pick 12, pick 3, who knows. But I don't think he's, going to be that good of a quarterback, especially Buffalo. I think he needs to go to the right system with the right coach, the right supporting cast. The Bills got no wide receivers. Their O-line's in shambles. I think they had 2 or 3 guys retire on the O-line. So it's going to get ugly if he goes to Buffalo.
And out of all the teams that need quarterbacks, I think Buffalo is the worst fit for him because they're going to want to rush him in there. He needs time.
Yeah.
He needs at least a year or 2 if you want him. I mean, you got to worry about him getting shell-shocked like David Carr did. He got sacked 76 times his rookie year. The Bills just lost Cordy Glenn. They lost Eric Wood. They lost Richie Incognito.
So 3 guys.
The offensive line is not in good shape.
I mean, he is a tough kid, though. I mean, he can take some hits. When I was scouting him, I did see that. He definitely can avoid pressure and avoid sacks. He is a big guy.
One of the misconceptions with him being big, though, is people think that they bring up the injury and the durability issue with Rosen a lot, but Josh Allen has had a shoulder injury last year that knocked him out. He broke his collarbone so bad that he's got 8 screws and a plate in his collarbone right now.
Already.
And I read somewhere that teams might be concerned with it, but I don't think it's going to stop them from taking him.
So I don't think that they're going to go 0-16, but do you anticipate maybe a Deshaun Kaiser with the Browns scenario if Josh Allen went to the Bills?
I mean,
it's possible.
They'd be a top 5 pick probably next year.
Yeah.
I mean, they have Kelvin Benjamin, and I mean that guy.
Zay Jones.
Yeah, I mean, I have Zay Jones in my dynasty league, so hopefully he's something, but probably not.
They got some players, but no, they definitely need help.
The Bills do have 2 picks, so they're probably going to trade up. Hopefully they trade up for, Josh Allen. Josh Rosen, excuse me.
I wouldn't mind getting that 2019 pick if they want to trade up to number 2 with the Giants. If they really want that quarterback, because I'll take that high pick next year.
All right, let's move on to pick 13, the Washington Redskins.
All right. My computer actually just crashed, so I don't have my players in front of me, but do have an idea. Washington definitely needs help on the defensive side of the ball. I think they'll go best available player. Right now, I would think they're going to go with Tremaine Edmonds, linebacker, Virginia Tech. I mean, this kid has everything you want in a linebacker. He looks like he's going to be a freak athlete, sideline to sideline linebacker, pure speed, and he's 19 years old, I believe. So super young. I think it'd be a great fit for their defense.
He's versatile too. He could work inside. He could be a pass rusher outside. He's all potential. He's in the Anthony Barr mold where you could do anything with him. You could put him in coverage. You can he's going to be good against the run. He's going to be a pass rusher. He's a chess piece for the defensive coordinator. I imagine they'd love having him.
All right, let's go to pick number 14, the Green Bay Packers.
With the 14th pick, Green Bay Packers are going to take Minkah Fitzpatrick.
I was waiting for him.
DB out of Alabama. Reason I say DB, not exactly sure where he's going to play. I don't know if he's going to be an outside corner. I could see him as a slot corner. I could see him as a safety, box safety. Green Bay just needs defensive backs. They traded away Demarius Randall, who kind of was, I thought they drafted him to play in that role, kind of like a mix of a corner and safety, although they had him work primarily at corner. And I think that Green Bay also look out for a pass rusher. I was thinking Harold Landry, Marcus Davenport, but Minkah, just great value. There's talk today, Adam Schefter tweeted that they're looking to move up.
I did see that.
Could be for a Minkah Fitzpatrick. I know they like him.
James starts if he slides past Tampa. Look for them to pull the trigger.
Also lost Morgan Burnett, another safety for him. So they could definitely he'd be a great compliment for Hogg.
I mean, they got Aaron Rodgers back. Draft a defensive player, get a playmaker that can help win you games. Either if it's pass rush or secondary help, they need help at both spots.
Yeah, I like that pick for them. Okay, let's go to pick number 15, Arizona Cardinals.
All right, Cardinals definitely look for them to trade up. I mean, who do they have? Sam Bradford and Mike Glennon. Sam Bradford will be okay for 3 games before his knee blows out. But I mean, it's true.
Unfortunately,
sad but true.
So they definitely need a quarterback. Are they going to have the right ammo to get that quarterback? If they stay at 15, look at 2 positions. Either try to replace Larry Fitzgerald. I mean, he's getting up there in age, but he's like the fountain of youth. He's still producing. But if you can get a young wide receiver, maybe a Calvin Ridley or a Cortland Sutton. But I think they're going to go O-line. They definitely need O-line help, and I think they'll go Mike McGlinchey from Notre Dame.
Definitely a solid pick there. They've been working on the offensive line, but they still need help. A lot of their work's been on the interior. They brought in Justin Pugh. I think they still have Mikey Upati. Mm-hmm. But, DJ Humphries, they drafted him in the first round a few years ago. Hasn't panned out as much as they'd like. But McGlinchey can play left or right tackle. I think he's going to be better as a right tackle. He definitely has some issue against some speed rushers, but in the NFL, it's starting to be interchangeable between left and right. Exactly. You got some of the best rushers in the league coming off the left side.
Well, hey, you got to protect Bradford's knees. So
yeah,
no,
it's the only way he'll play more than 3 games.
All right, pick number 16, the Baltimore Ravens.
I got the Baltimore Ravens going with Daron Payne, defensive lineman out of Alabama. In my list of players to pick, they're all Alabama because Ozzie Newsome loves some Alabama players. They could just use more depth on the defensive line. You got to consider other things. I was considering possibly Lamar Jackson here, but I think Ozzie Newsome is last year. I don't think he's going to be trying to give them future assets. I think he's going to be trying to have one last run. Joe Flacco is not that old. He's not very good, but he's not that old to where you got to really think about replacing him. But there's been talk about Lamar Jackson going to Baltimore.
Yeah, I think this is definitely Lamar Jackson territory.
Mm-hmm.
They could pull the trigger. Come on, you heard us talk about Joe Flacco on our FATstats podcast. It's time to move on, in my opinion. I could see them going wide receiver, but defensive tackle definitely makes sense for that team to get back to that defensive culture.
Yeah, they could go for a replacement for Flacco. They could also use a replacement, or not a replacement, but just like weapons for any quarterback.
A tight end, look for a tight end, maybe.
They just need some offensive
A little
help.
rich for a tight end at 16, but
A little,
definitely.
yeah.
They might pull
They
the
just
trigger.
need some. They
Joe
just need some
Flacco
help
does
on
love his
offense.
tight ends, though.
He does.
He does. So
Todd Heap. All right,
yeah.
let's go to pick 17. The San Diego. I'm sorry, I almost said the San Diego Chargers. Wow.
I do it all the time.
The LA Chargers.
All right. LA Chargers with the 17th pick will take Lamar Jackson, QB,
Ooh, there he
Louisville. There it is, boys. I think it's a home run pick for them. Lamar Jackson is someone that should sit for a while, and who's one of the best people to learn from is Phillip Rivers. I think that's a perfect match for these two. I think if he goes to the right system, like the Chargers, let him develop, I think he's going to be a very good quarterback in the next level. He's definitely a hell of an athlete. He can make the throws. He just got to get more consistent with his footwork, his release. So learning under Phillip Rivers, I think, makes all the sense in the world. He's on the board. Take him when he's there.
I love Lamar Jackson. I think that the only reason why he isn't being considered higher is because offensive coordinators are a little closed-minded. They don't want to change their offense to cater towards an athlete like him. But he's a better thrower than people realize.
Yeah.
And at Louisville, they use a lot more pro-style concepts than people imagine. They look at the stats, they see him run the ball 20 times a game, and they think, oh, they're running a gimmick offense. But that's not really the case. A lot of his running plays are designed runs, but he does a good job of avoiding players, staying in the pocket, and still being able to throw the ball. He has some trouble throwing outside the numbers, but the arm strength is there. He just needs to get a little bit more consistent with his footwork.
I actually like Lamar Jackson too. I don't want to say they're the same player, but this is a feeling for me, like the same feeling I had for Deshaun Watson last year. Like I really like Deshaun Watson. Unfortunately, he went to the Texans, and I hope Lamar doesn't fall to you guys, the Jaguars, and you guys somehow take him because
It's a wrap if we get Lamar Jackson.
I actually like Lamar Jackson too, so I think he's going to go in this range. I mean, the Patriots are coming up too, so there's been a lot of talk between that too.
A lot of rumors that they're in love with him, so we'll see.
It's funny too because Phillip Rivers. If you go from Phillip Rivers to Lamar Jackson, it's like a complete 180. Like
Exactly.
it's weird to see Lamar Jackson.
And supposedly, Anthony Lynn loves the kid.
He had Tyrod Taylor before too, so was offensive coordinator there or running backs coach. I believe running backs coach.
Yeah.
I think Lamar Jackson might be a hot take, but a better Michael Vick. Michael Vick was more of an athlete who could throw far. I think Lamar Jackson's a more natural quarterback.
Okay, awesome. All right, let's go to pick number 18.
All right, so with the 18th pick, I have the Seahawks taking running back Darius Geis out of LSU. They're an ideal trade back candidate. They have no day 2 picks. They trade back every year if they have their first round pick. Usually they trade it for, Jimmy Graham. But Darius Geis he's the same style runner as Marshawn Lynch. They're going to be getting flashbacks of him. He runs tough. He fights for every yard. And hot take, I know Alec won't agree with this, but I think he's a better prospect than Leonard Fournette.
Wow.
That's trash.
That is a hot take.
Lenny's a hooper.
Lenny was very highly touted coming out.
He was. We get him an O-line. Watch out. Year 2, he might go for $2K. Lenny 2K.
I don't know about that.
Still averaging less
There's
than
only
4
one.
yards
There's
a
only
carry.
one 2K guy. Just kidding. CJ 2K.
But
That's why I said just kidding.
I think one underrated aspect of Geis's game is people don't think he can catch the ball. But fun fact, he actually won the MVP of the Under Armour All-American high school game. Based off his receiving ability, he had 5 catches, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns in that game.
Wow.
LSU just never throws the ball
To the running
at all,
backs,
and
yeah.
to the running backs.
All right, something else? No.
Yeah. I mean, I can see him definitely going running back. If they were smart, they would go O-line. I don't know why they wouldn't go O-line, but Seahawks, they're not going to do it. I can also see him going maybe edge rusher, Harold Landry, Marcus Davenport for sure.
They have edge rushers. They're just, you can't depend on them. Deion
Exactly.
Jordan, Frank Clark.
Yeah.
So possibly Dez's replacement here. I don't think we haven't had a receiver go off the board yet. So Dallas Cowboys at pick 19. What do you got?
Yeah, so Dallas Cowboys, I think you hit it right on the head. I think they will replace Dez Bryant with this pick. They get their choice of wide receiver. I saw a lot that they were doing a lot of private workouts with Cortland Sutton, but I heard that it's not a match with head coach Jason Garrett. I think they're going to go pick with Calvin Ridley, wide receiver, Alabama. Shout out Monarch High School. High school we all went to, everyone in this room went to the same high school as us, so, shout out Monarch High School. I think Calvin Ridley would be a perfect fit with Dak Prescott in that offense. Throw over the middle and just let him make plays after the catch.
I think, I know, like you said, we've heard a lot of talk about them and Cortland Sutton. I think they could potentially either try to trade up or get him in the second round. Sutton's very raw, but Ridley, he's ready to play right now.
Yeah.
He's the best route runner in the class. He doesn't have the catch radius that you want from your number one wide receiver, but if you get another receiver that could be more of a game breaker and let him, he could still run deep. He's still fast. He's good, but he's just, when he's covered tightly, he's not the guy to go to for contested catches. I'd say perfect number 2 receiver in an offense. But
Elite number 2.
Elite number 2. But he could also be a number 1,
Yeah.
especially if you can scheme him open.
Yeah, like a Jarvis Landry type, like an elite number 2.
Yeah.
Not 1.
Hot take. All right, let's go to pick number 20, the Detroit Lions.
20th pick, I have the Detroit Lions picking Marcus Davenport, defensive end out of, I don't even know where he went. It's a small school.
UTEP.
Yeah,
It was it UTEP?
University or Texas San Antonio.
There you go. That's what it is.
UTSA.
Utsa.
He's one of those guys. I mean, he's raw. It's all about the potential of pass rushers. It's one of the few positions where you can get away with getting a raw player and trying to.
They did it before in the top of the draft with
Ziggy Ansah?
Ziggy Ansah.
Yep.
I was actually at that draft.
Yep. JPP
but,
couldn't even
yeah.
play football when he got drafted.
I definitely could
Turning
see
those
them
down.
going O-line or defensive line here. They either, whether it's defensive tackle, best one available, or an edge rusher, and look out for running back. I mean, the Lions haven't had a running back since Barry Sanders, and they haven't had a running back get 100 yards in a single game in over 4 years, I think it is. So they definitely need a running game.
Yeah.
But
Geis is someone to consider here.
exactly, if he's on the board, look for Geis.
One player who I thought was definitely a candidate for them early on was Maurice Hurst.
Yeah.
But with the heart condition, it sounds like he's not going to get picked first day.
I saw day 3. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, that'd be a steal.
All right, so we're going to pick 21. We're going to speed this up just a little bit more.
All right.
But pick 21, we got the Cincinnati Bengals.
All right, Cincinnati Bengals. I got them. I think they're going to go O-line here. They have to rework that offensive line. I've seen a lot. Frank Ragnow, center guard out of Arkansas. I've seen he's shooting up people's draft boards. Supposedly the Bengals have a ton of interest in him. So that's going to be my pick.
Yeah, and their center, Russell Bodine's been like the worst center for 3 years, so it makes a lot of sense.
I think they need to get Andy Dalton's replacement, though, at some point.
If Lamar Jackson's there,
Maybe.
I think they'll talk about it.
All right, pick 22. The Bills are back on the clock.
All right. With the 22nd pick, I have the Bills taking James Daniel, center out of Iowa. Start a little center run here. They need offensive line help, as I mentioned before. Eric Wood retiring because of injury.
Yeah.
And James Daniels, you can argue with him as the best center in the class. It's neck and neck between him and Ragdoll.
Exactly. Those are probably going to be the 21st and 22nd pick.
One way or the
Interchangeable.
other, yeah.
If the Bills are there, you can definitely see them. It's smart to go interior line. So even if they went with Isaiah Wynn, anyone, they definitely need O-line help. I can also see him being risky and going wide receiver, but I think they need O-line.
I don't think the value's there for receivers.
Well, we only have one of them off the board, correct? As far as I know.
Yep.
Only one. Okay. All right, pick number 23, the New England Patriots.
All right, what are the Patriots going to do? They got 2 first-round picks. Are they going to use both of these picks to package to trade up, something we really never see? Could be Lamar Miller if he
Lamar Jackson?
Yeah. I always say Lamar
You
Miller.
do.
It's
You
like
always. You just have
problem.
a man crush on Lamar Miller.
I guess so. He went to the U.
Shout out to you.
And I think I had him in fantasy one year, and he helped me a lot. If he gets past 17 to the Chargers, I can see the Patriots and the Seahawks making a deal to get Lamar Jackson.
I could see them trading up even earlier.
Yeah.
Josh Rosen, if you start slipping past 5, 6,
Wow, if Josh Rosen goes to the Patriots somehow?
Yeah.
30-year
If they
dynasty.
don't trade up for a quarterback, they got 2 options: O-line help, or let's get a pass catcher. I'm gonna go with DJ Moore, wide receiver, Maryland. I think could be the best wide receiver in this class. He's explosive. He's quick. Catches a ton of balls. I think he would fit perfectly in New England.
Definitely. New England could always use more pass catchers.
Yeah.
It seems like there's new ones there every year. DJ Moore, he was a 97th percentile athlete coming out.
I mean, the kid's elusive.
Yeah, and he can play
He'll
wide
make
receiver
plays.
too.
Yeah, he'll
He can
make
play
plays.
He's not just a raw athlete. He can play some wide receiver. Reminds me of a more athletic Stephon Diggs, also at Maryland.
Yeah, I guess.
So they're pretty much just kind of trading Cooks for more,
Yeah.
in a way.
Different style receivers.
Yeah. Okay. Pick 24, the Panthers.
Yep. Pick 24, I got the Panthers going with Will Hernandez, offensive guard out of UTEP. They need to replace Andrew Norwell, and Will Hernandez might be my favorite offensive lineman in the draft after Quentin Nelson. He's mean. He's got shorter arms than you'd like, which is why he's stuck inside, but you don't want to line up against that guy. He's going to be pancaking everybody. And a lot of their running game involves their guards are very important in their offense with how much they move their pull their guards and just move their offensive linemen.
Yeah, and they just lost Andrew Noel. He went to my Jacksonville Jaguars, and that's actually who I want the Jaguars to pick. You believe that? I'm hammering the table for my Jags to take an O-lineman. I think Willie Hernandez is a beast. He's a bully that would help our running game tremendously, so I'm a little upset to see him go at 24.
It's funny you hated that when they picked an offensive lineman so early, and now you want them to take one so late.
Yeah, I mean,
this is the time to take him, though.
Exactly. I mean, you got to build the line. I think he'd be great for us, so that's who I want the Jags to take.
And there's going to be a run on interior offensive linemen late in the first, early in the second. So if the Jags want to get one, go at 29.
I can see it. Okay. Hot take, the best team in the NFL. The Titans pick at 25.
All right, Tennessee Mayonnaise Titans gonna take Leighton Vander Esch, linebacker, Boise State. I think Titans can go multiple spots here. Maybe pass rush. Harold Landry still on the board. Tempted to go there, but I don't even know a Titans linebacker, and I play them twice a year in the division. I couldn't even tell you a Titans linebacker.
Come on.
So I think they should draft a linebacker.
We beat you twice last year. You don't even know their names? Shoot.
I mean, who? Keith Bullock?
Mr. Monday Night? That was his nickname.
Brian Arakpo.
There you go. See, he knows.
I mean, that's pass rusher. I'm talking linebackers.
Fair enough. I mean, he is a linebacker, though.
Technically.
Yeah, but he's your pass rusher. But
True.
I think 25.
Rashad Evans, you can even see him there. But, I mean, Vander Esch was making plays last year.
Vander Esch is a 3-down linebacker.
Yeah.
Evans might just be a 2-down.
I think we definitely take a pass rusher though.
Yeah, I think 25 is the floor for Harold Landry.
Yeah, I would love Harold Landry, honestly. All right, let's go to pick 26, the Atlanta Falcons.
All right, pick 26. I got the Falcons going with Taven Bryan, defensive tackle out of Florida. If you look, the Falcons don't do a very good job of hiding the position and the pick they want every year. They definitely are most likely going to go defensive tackle, Deron Payne if he's there. But I went with Taven Bryan, one, because Payne was taken, but two, Dan Quinn, former coach on the Gators. He definitely likes his Gators. Keanu O'Neal a few years ago. Taven Bryan, also a Gator. And they need some help next to Grady Jarrett.
You actually met Keanu O'Neal in person.
I
didn't you?
did. Actually, working at Lululemon, and he was shopping. Dude was a pretty cool dude. He's a beast. Too bad he didn't, break up that element play. But super nice guy, good player.
All right, let's go to pick number 27, the Saints.
Saints. Could they trade up for a quarterback?
Lamar
Jackson. Maybe Baker Mayfield slips to 10 area. I seen a report last year they actually would have taken Patrick Mahomes had the Chiefs not taken him at 10. So maybe they're in the quarterback market. I think this team's ready to win now. I think they should add a playmaker. Dallas Goedert, tight end, South Dakota State. If you put a freak tight end like him in their offense with Kamara, you got Michael Thomas. They'll be scary. And now they have a defense. Give them a playmaker, and they're contenders.
I like that. They need a nice tight end.
Yeah, they were trying to get Jimmy Graham in free agency, but he decided to go to Green Bay instead. So you definitely know they want.
That would have been cool for him to go back, but I like Jimmy Graham in Green Bay.
That's why I could see Mike Gesicki going there as well. Just athletic profile. He's just an elite athlete who apparently that's what they look for in tight ends.
For sure. All right, pick 28, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, pick 28. I'm going with Harold Landry, linebacker, pass rusher out of Boston College. I don't think he'd get this far, but the Steelers always have a way of getting great value with their picks. Just going back to Jarvis Jones didn't work out. They seem to get a good player to fall to them a lot, and they're ones to take them. They need edge help. Bud Dupree still hasn't really produced what they thought he would, and Harold Landry is a great pass rusher. Tape wasn't that good last year. He was injured. He was getting double teamed constantly. But if you go back to 2016, he's a great pass rusher. Probably the most natural pass rusher in the draft.
I like that pick for them. That's definitely a good pick for them. If he falls, the chances that could happen.
Very soon.
All right, this is your team.
All right.
So out of all the players taken, if you were the GM of the Jags, who would you take?
So I'll put on my Dave Caldwell and Tommy Coughlin. Shout out to the GOAT. If I put on their jacket, I'm bummed that Willie Hernandez is gone. I think that's an ideal pick for us. I'm also bummed that Harold Landry just went. I think that would have been a great pick for us. I think, you're thinking D-line. Jags aren't going to go D-line. We do have some big cap hits coming up in the interior D-line. And then also Dante Fowler, fifth-year options coming up. Are we going to pick it up? Are we not going to pick it up? You get a guy like Harold Landry. That would have been a good fit.
So if these players are gone, would you trade out or would you still pick?
Maybe trade out. I think we'll stay. And if we're not going O-line, Connor Williams is still on the board. Tackle, he can play guard. He's still on the board. But just for the heck of it, my guys are gone. So I think the Jags will go Mike Gesicki, tight end, Penn State. We're looking for a tight end. As long as we don't draft Hayden Hurst with this pick, I'm completely happy. Give me anyone but Hayden Hurst.
You don't like 30-year-old tight ends?
No. That have only scored 3 touchdowns. Not a fan. But anyone else, definitely take.
Not actually 30, by the way. I think he's going to be 26 this year.
Yeah, 26, 3 TDs.
Crazy.
He is a Jacksonville kid, so that's why local media has been hammering Hayden Hurst to Jacksonville. He is from Duval, but I'd be pissed if we got him.
I'd say watch out for wide receiver here. I mentioned you earlier.
Yeah.
Tom Coughlin, you think ground and pound guy. was a wide receiver coach going back when his first stint with the Giants in the 80s and 90s. And if you look at the Giants' draft tendencies when he was there, they chose a lot of wide receivers in the first 3 rounds. So I could see someone, DJ Moore falls,
Yeah.
Christian Kirk.
DJ Moore, his wide receivers coach in college was Keenan McCardell, who's our wide receiver coach. So there's a connection there. Maybe Christian Kirk Christian. That'd be a nice pick. But I don't know if we go wide receiver. We just paid a ton of money to Marquise Lee and Dante Moncrief.
You did lose 2 receivers though.
We did, but
So I could see it.
I can see a tight end more than a wide receiver if we're going to go
Moncrief
pass catcher.
was 1 year deal, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go to any more hot takes on the Jags.
We're going to win the Super Bowl
All right.
in 2018.
I shouldn't have even asked.
Do
All right,
well.
Knew that was
pick
coming.
pick 30, the Minnesota Vikings.
I got the Minnesota Vikings taking Billy Price, center out of Ohio State. He's the meanest offensive center in the draft. Dude's nasty. Not as good of a mover as Ragnow and Daniels, but I think he would have been in the conversation if he hadn't torn his pec at the combine.
Yeah, that's rough.
And he's more versatile. He could definitely play guard as well. They have Pat Eiflin as well, who's also a guard/center. So they'll figure out which one fits best where, and they could use more offensive line help. Protect Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, they just paid $1 billion for Kirk Cousins. You got to protect him.
Mm-hmm.
They're going O-line with this pick. Who they pick, we'll see tomorrow, but they're going O-line.
All right, last 2 picks. We got 31, the New England Patriots.
All right, Patriots, if they're still on the clock, look for them to trade out, trade up. But if they're picking at 31, Jair Alexander, cornerback, Louisville. I think that's how you pronounce his first name. They definitely need to replace Malcolm Butler. I heard Mike Hughes from UCF. He's fallen off people's boards. Some off-the-field concerns. I think they go Alexander if they're going cornerback here.
I think it's a good pick. They could always use some more corners.
Yeah, I mean, in today's NFL, you really can't go wrong. I wouldn't even be mad if the Jags took a corner, as crazy as that sounds. You're a nickel almost 70% of the time. Get some lockdown corners.
Yeah, I think Jair is versatile enough to play in the slot, at least early on.
So I think if the
And he's got that swagger you want out of a DB.
Definitely.
Yeah, if the Patriots get their pick that they want with at 23, I think that this is definitely primetime trading area, which which the
Absolutely.
Eagles could even do at 32.
Ooh, yeah.
But I think I just see the Patriots always getting picks, and I feel like this is definitely trading time for them. But let's go to the 32 with the Eagles.
All right, 32nd pick. I'm going to have them taking Sony Michel, running back out of Georgia. I think I would be very surprised if the Eagles actually make a pick day one, but I know there's interest in Darius Geis. Sony Michel is more of an all-around back. They have a lot of running backs, but they don't have a lot of commitment in those running backs. Jay Ajayi, probably the last year of his rookie deal. He's got the knee injury.
Yeah, speaking of knees.
Yeah,
He's
Corey
got some
Clement,
pretty bad
more of a pass-catching guy. Wendell Smallwood's not really anything anymore. They could use an all-around back, and, the rich get richer.
Yeah, I see O-line or running back here.
Could definitely use a Jason Peters replacement.
Yeah, or Ronald Jones wouldn't be a bad fit for that offense.
Yeah, I could see someone trading up for Ronald Jones
Yeah,
in the end of the first round. I don't know if he's a fit there, but
Well, that was good. So we went through all 32. Now we had five quarterbacks taken
yes.
Yeah.
in this one.
6 could go. Mason Rudolph.
See,
Teams picked 28, 29, 30, all the way to 32.
31,
Someone's gonna,
New England?
Yeah.
Someone trading up to
The
31
big
to 32.
thing is the 5th-year option. If you do like your guy, you're in the beginning of the second round, why not trade up? That way you secure that 5th-year option for that quarterback.
Absolutely.
So maybe Mason Rudolph goes here. Kyle, I don't know how to say his last name.
Laletta?
Yeah, Laletta from Richmond. Supposedly that kid is a hooper. That's a dark horse. So
Supposedly
6
the
quarterbacks
Patriots
could go.
love Kyle Laletta too.
Yeah.
So I
Six-
could see them using him with
We
31st
could see
pick.
6, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if no one trades up to the end of the first, I mean, definitely probably the very beginning of the second round
Yeah.
to take one of those guys. But
Other than the teams that are already taking quarterback first round.
yeah,
There's
for
gonna be
sure,
a lot of
for
those
sure.
guys.
all right, anything else on any of these guys that we just talked about? Keith, you have something to say?
Yeah.
Apparently not.
So I
What?
think that the Bengals are going to try to package a deal, trade up, try to get a quarterback.
I can see it.
Andy Dalton's such a scrub.
They need to
AJ
get rid of him.
got him money. That's the only reason that man has money.
Say for the mic what he had.
Wait, who? Jalen Ramsey's son?
So
Alec.
Fick over here is saying that the Bengals are going to package up a deal to trade up to get a quarterback. And I completely agree. I think they need to rid themselves of Andy Dalton. And I can definitely see that happening.
And they can. Andy Dalton's contracts basically pay as you go at this point, so
It's
they can
such
cut him
a-
very easily after the season.
But it's the Bengals. Marvin Lewin's still their coach. They're ho-hum. They'll go
Right.
with Andy Dalton for one more year. We'll go with Marvin Lewis for one more year. They're not going to take a quarterback.
that happens forever.
Yeah.
It's just one more year.
I mean,
every
they.
year.
Who knows with them? They took John Ross with the 9th overall pick, and then he was inactive like the
He played
half the
He
season.
played 3 snaps.
Yeah,
Did he have
had-
one rush for 12 yards?
Did he have a catch?
No, he had negative.
I don't even.
He ended the year with negative fantasy points.
Yeah, he either had one rush or one catch for 9 yards and then fumbled the ball.
Wow.
Yeah, so who knows what they'll do.
So yeah, I think that the Bengals will end up trading up to try to get a quarterback. I think that they're done with Andy Dalton. They realized last year, the year before that, and the year before that. Once AJ Green went down that one year, and Andy Dalton had to do things by himself, it was an abysmal offense. It was juvenile.
It would make a lot of sense because the Bengals never play their first round
I
picks
also
their rookie
think-
year.
I also think that the Patriots are in the market to try to trade up into the realms of 15. Like between picks 12 and like 16, I see them in the realms to do that to scoop up Lamar Jackson. They are in love with him. I don't think that they acquired that other pick from Brandon Cooks for a reason, and I think they're going to get their quarterback of the future.
Well, them and the Bengals are going to be going after the same
Is
quarterback.
this word from Bill?
No, this is word from me. This is my takes.
Look, this is definitely the draft to get your quarterback in the first round. There's going to be 5 or 6 for sure. We're 22 hours and about 55 minutes away
Yeah.
from the 2018 NFL
It's
draft.
definitely going to be a fun night. Draft night's always crazy. Who knows what's going to happen?
Who knows?
There's definitely going to be a shocker. Probably at least 3 shockers that everyone's going to be
Oh,
like,
for
wow.
sure. There always is.
I'm predicting a shocker in the top 3 picks. I predict something crazy is going to happen within the top 3 picks.
Josh Rosen to the Giants.
Jets end up taking like Josh Allen, exactly.
But can we see some of the old stuff, like players, like NBA type trades where they're drafting the player and then trading them after?
That doesn't happen.
Oh,
It's possible. I could see it happening. It's possible.
That's what the
And-
Giants did with
Yeah.
Eli Manning, Phillip
One
Rivers.
more take.
Yeah, what if one of
And
these
the
QBs
LT
say, I'm not playing
And
that?
the LT Michael Vick trade was the same thing.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
what I thought.
Okay.
I think also I'm a Giants fan just like Kyle over here. You guys know that. I also think that look, we take Saquon. I'm cool with it. Like cool. Like he's gonna be a beast. It's
gonna be fun to watch.
With those players, exactly. That offense will be explosive. But you need your quarterback of the future. Literally, the Eagles just built one of the greatest defenses over this last 2 seasons because they're paying Carson Wentz pennies right now. So that's the way that you win football games.
This is the draft to get your quarterback. If you're
Exactly.
going to get one.
We're
Totally
not.
get
We're in
it.
such a
And the
rare
one year the
position.
Jags aren't picking in the top 5.
We're never
Crazy.
Andre Francois coming
And
out.
we're never going to draft. I feel like we'll never be in
Didn't he
that
get
position
caught like
again
with 22 grams
Yeah.
of weed the other
to
day?
have a top 2 pick. So
You're not with an offense with Saquon Barkley, Odell, and Evan Ingram. You're not picking top 3
and
again.
possibly Des Bryant.
Oh,
We'll see.
hot
Also,
take.
one
Maybe
more
not.
thing. I just want to say Mike forgot to shout me out. My name is Fick, host of Go Fick Yourself, also presented by FATstats. Mike's also my co-host. That was a B-word move for him not to shout out his podcast.
Yeah,
Guy
you're
on
one of the
couch.
graters too. I thought that was a low blow.
Right, you know
I would
what
have
I
shouted
mean?
you out.
Thanks.
I would have shouted
I'm
you
part
out.
of the crew, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Founding father of the FATstats team. Go Fick Yourself. We episode 9's in the works. Bob, the producer who's been filming us the whole time, he's got that coming out. It'll be out next week.
See, I knew he was going to say something at the end. But, all right, so we anticipate a lot of trades going on tomorrow. It's going to be fun. We didn't do any trades specifically for this one. We just kind of went as it was. We expect a lot of trades, though.
Yeah,
So-
at least 6 or 7, I'd say.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
Wow, that many?
I could see a lot, yeah.
Would that be a record?
I don't know, probably close
First
to
round?
it.
All right, anything else? That is the 2018 NFL Mock Draft presented by FATstats. Alec, thank you very much. Kyle, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, I actually want to end with a little fat stat. I saw this tweet. I do want to get the exact tweet out. Super fat. So there have only been 4 drafts in NFL history that produced 2 Super Bowl winning QBs. 1971, we had Plunkett, first overall pick, and
Jimmy.
Joey Theismann. 1979, we had Phil Simms and Joe Montana. 2004, Eli Manning and Big Ben Roethlisberger. And then in 2012, Russell Wilson and can anyone guess
Nick
the other?
Foles.
There you go, Nick Foles.
That's crazy.
Will this be the 5th draft? Let's give it a few years. Could happen. Maybe.
History says maybe not, but
Yeah, history definitely says maybe
Chances
not,
are
but
against it.
That's pretty cool.
that is
We'll see.
definitely
And
a
the
fat
super
stat.
fat stat is 2004 is the only one where 2 of them did it 2 times.
That's true.
Fat stats.